What is going on, guys? Money Webby here, back again on Saturday. We got a nice 4-game slate here tonight. We got some great hitting environments here. Game in Coors Field, a game in Texas, and there's still some solid pitching, though, on the slate. Charlie Morton, one of the best pitchers in the league so far, so it's going to be a good one. We had a good night with the pitching yesterday. DeGrom and Sale got 31 and 26, and it could have been even more, but they didn't get much run support, and neither of them got the win, even though they both had great outings. So disappointing there, not getting the win, but still solid starts. And the value guys we went with were pretty solid. Maben had a nice little game. He had a few hits, and Carpenter had a nice little game. Anthony Rendon, was expecting a little bit more out of him. He kind of disappointed me, and also Logan Morrison didn't get the power that we're looking for, but I think we're going to have another good night here with the plays. So I got 2 pitchers for you, 3 hitters, and a value batter. So go ahead and drop a like in the video. Before we get going, let's try to get over 80 likes on this one. Appreciate all the support. Let's just hop into it. I'm going to go with Charlie Morton at the top here at 12,400. It's a great strikeout matchup, even though he's in Texas. Like, it doesn't really matter what the park he's pitching in if he's going to be getting a lot of strikeouts. So looking at this matchup, in 2 games against them, both of them were in Houston, but he's had extremely dominant games against his team. He won for 43 drafting points in the last outing, 14 Ks, so tremendous stuff there. And then another game in Houston, he got 12 Ks, so very good strikeout stuff. You look at his BVP in 79 plate appearances, the guy has a 43% K rate against these hitters, so extremely good strikeout stuff. So if he can just get around like 8 to 10 Ks again in this game, it kind of takes away from that park factor a little bit by getting these guys out without putting the bat on the ball. And he's had great strikeout stuff just throughout the year at 31% K rate. He has struggled a little bit against 3 very tough matchups the last 3 games with Cleveland, Yankees, and Boston. That's pretty much the toughest slate of games you can get back to back to back. But now against Texas, an easier lineup to deal with, very strikeout prone. They have a 225 batting average and a 26.8% K rate against right-handed pitchers, so you can definitely get a lot of strikeouts against them and just limit the batting average. They kind of have a lot of guys that swing for the fences, like Odor, Joey Gallo, Mazar, and all these guys. They're pretty much power guys, so if Morgan can just limit them, get them striking out, and I think he'll be able to limit the runs. Maybe he'll give up like 1 or 2 home runs, but I see him going around 7 innings, allowing like 1 or 2 runs or maybe 3 runs, and then getting the strikeouts to give him that upside. A best pitcher on the slate again here, so we're going to go ahead and lock him in there. Despite the park factor, I still think he's the best pitcher by far. So that's the first guy. And for my second guy, we're going to go with Domingo German. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. German has a little accent there. But the Yankees pitcher, a younger pitcher, he's been okay this year. ERA, not very good. The strikeout stuff, still pretty solid, though. 24% K rate. And actually, if you look at his numbers, he's pitched better than what his ERA has shown. So he definitely needs some regression there. With the ERA, he's been a little bit better the last 2 starts. He's gone a little deeper with 6.2 innings. Only 3 Ks, though. It kind of limited them last game. But I think against this Mets lineup, they really don't score that much against anyone. And they have been striking out a decent amount recently. Tanaka really struck them out a lot last game. He went 5 innings. He only allowed 1 hit, which was a home run, but he got 8 Ks in those 5 innings. So his stuff was working against this Mets team. And Domingo has some solid strikeout stuff, like I mentioned. And the Mets lineup is very cold recently, and he's getting a park upgrade here going to the Mets Stadium, much more pitcher-friendly compared to the Yankee Stadium. So Domingo, I like his matchup, one of the best matchups on the board, and if he can just kind of get closer to that strikeout total, like 6 or 7, and he has a better matchup here. He has kind of struggled in some of these matchups, like he's had some tougher matchups against like Boston, against Houston, against Cleveland. This is one of the easier matchups he can have, and he'll have the benefit of facing a pitcher as well. But he has had that upside, like against Cleveland here. He went 6 innings, didn't even allow a hit, and got 9 Ks. So he does have the upside to have a big game here. I think he'll get around 20-plus drafting points, honestly, in the 8,500. Not a bad price tag. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there. He can definitely get the win with some good run support against Steven Matz. The Yankees have a lot of good lefty hitters, like especially Giancarlo Stanton, who has Matt's number. So those are the 2 pitchers I'm going with. You got 3,600 remaining per player. paying up for pitcher again in the slate. But for my first hitter, I'm going to go with Alex Bregman here at 4,300. Going against the lefty, this guy has been hitting very well recently. Very good park upgrade here. Going to Texas. Come on, let's load this thing up. Bregman, all right, here we go. He got 18 last game, a home run in both of the games in Texas, so he's hitting very well in this park, and he has another good lefty matchup against Mike Minor, who's allowing 1.8 home runs per 9 to right-handed batters and a 40% hard hit rate. So Bregman, towards the top of the lineup, has definitely some good power against lefties. He had one of these home runs against Cole Hamels, I believe, the other night. And Mike Minor, not a very good pitcher. Definitely has some worse splits against right-handed batters. And it's going to be around 90 degrees here, so great hitting for the Astros. They're projected around 5.5 runs. So Bregman, nice little value, I think. I'm surprised he wasn't priced up a little bit more. We'll take the value, though, at 4,300. So that's my first guy. I'll be going with another extreme value guy later in the lineup, so keep a bookmark in that. But for my second guy, we're going to go with Tyler Austin here. Nice value against the lefty, Steven Matz. So Austin, he's a lefty masher. He's a 292 ISO against lefties this year, and Steven Matz, the way he's been kind of gotten to this year, the way he's kind of struggled, has been against power hitters, right-handed batters, power hitters, and he's just been allowing a good amount of home runs to them. So he's been allowing 1.76 home runs per 9 to righty batters. He's been pitching very well against lefties. His batting average against lefties is below 200, but he's still allowing that hard contact and power to right-handed batters. Austin is 2 for 2 against him in his career. Very small PVP, but a guy that's very good against lefties. And Matz, who's struggling with power hitters. I think Austin, honestly, could have that power upside against him. So I like him a lot in this matchup against Matz at 3,400. He'll be up in the lineup against the lefty here, I think. So nice value, has the power upside. I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my second guy. For my third hitter, I'm going to go with CODY Bellinger. The guy's been on a power surge recently. Kind of chasing points, I guess, but his stuff recently has just been insane. 4 home runs in the last 4 games and a double. I'm surprised that his price hasn't gone up a little bit more, but the 3,900, I feel like he's just a good value against a bad pitcher. And Anibal Sanchez here. And a thing that happened yesterday that I was surprised in, that he got 2 stolen bases yesterday. So maybe they're feeling just a little bit more willing to kind of get setting him on a stolen base attempt. And I think if they do that again here tonight, Anibal Sanchez is a very easy pitcher to steal on. So Bellinger honestly could get a stolen base against Sanchez here again. He has been kind of getting walked a lot recently. Maybe that's why they're kind of sending him on for a stolen base, just to kind of make pitchers think twice about walking him. But Bellinger, he has 4 stolen bases. He had 10 last year, so he definitely has the speed to do it. And Sanchez, one of the worst pitchers at holding people on. And like I mentioned, the power trending up, 5 extra base hits. In the last 4 games, we know he has that great power against right-handed pitchers. There is slight wind blowing to right field. So Bellinger, another solid opportunity for hitting a home run here tonight. And Anibal Sanchez is not a good pitcher, so I like him a lot here at a value at 3,900. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there. So that gets you up to 3,500 remaining per player. You got Morton, Domingo German, Tyler Austin, Bregman, and Bellinger. And for my value hitter, we're going to go with Marwin Gonzalez on this Houston lineup. He'll probably be towards the lower end, maybe around the 6-7 spot. But he's still going to have a lot of RBI opportunities. He's had some solid games the last 2 times out in Texas, 2 for 4 in both those games. I think he can just get batted in a few guys here. Like I mentioned, they're projected 5.5 runs. Minor, not good against right-handed batters. Marwin will be batting from the right side here tonight. And the park upgrade is so big for this Houston lineup. They can definitely get around like 5 to 10 runs again in this game. At 3,300 for a guy that does have that opportunity. These 3 through 4 guys, Altuve and all these guys, could definitely get on base. And then Marwin steps in with an opportunity to knock them all in. He gets a double. Just one hit can give him the value at 3,300. So I like the value here. And with the high run total and just the opportunity, he honestly could get up to 5 at-bats in this game if they do bat crazy. 4 at-bats, not too bad. For a guy that would be batting the 3 spot, if a lineup got 2 runs, he'd be getting 4 at-bats. But if a guy in the bottom of half of the lineup and they just kind of kill the pitcher, he can get up to 4 at-bats as well. So the lineup aspect for this high run total doesn't weigh in as much, I think. And Marwin Gonzalez, he's definitely a solid hitter. He has 30 RBIs already this year. Honestly, I think he was batting better last year. He does have that power upside, and especially on the road here in Texas, I think he can have a big game. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there. It's a nice value at 3,300. That gets you up to 3,550 remaining per player. Probably get a punt and catcher if I had to say so, because there's not as much value on this smaller slate. So you got to go with the cheap guy catcher to fill it out, but it's still definitely doable. Maybe you can kind of pivot from Bregman to save a little bit of money, but these are the guys I'm considering. Tyler Austin and Marwin Gonzalez are definitely good values with the two pitchers here. So that is it, though. Go ahead and drop a like in the video before you head out. I'd greatly appreciate that. 80 plus likes. Thank you for all the support on the videos. I wish you guys the best of luck on this slate. Good luck with trying to take home some money. Hit that subscribe button before you head out if you haven't already. Hit that bell icon as well to get alerted every time I upload these videos. So yeah, let's kill it. The pitching, I feel like very good upside here. I would say this is probably the best duo at pitching if everything works out like it should. So Morton, German, get your pitchers right and just let the hitters fall into place. And we'll see you back here again tomorrow.